I'm gonna be right there in front of him like I always do. You know, I'm gonna make him miss, I make him pay, and I'm gonna fight my fight. So I feel like that was.
It's a different type. Like, you can be riding that wave. You've been getting all these knockouts of all these other different guys, but you've never been in the ring with an animal like Crawford. And when you get in there for the first time and you get hit upside your head and you see that you can't do the stuff that you usually do against the guys that you fought, you know, at the lower level, bro.
Joe Rogan reacted with genuine surprise to the announcement of Terence Crawford facing Jaron Ennis, letting out a big wow. He hadn't expected the fight to happen, especially since both had previously dismissed the idea of facing each other. Rogan said, given the styles they both bring to the ring, it would be something remarkable to see them fight. After Jaron Ennis dominated Wisma Lima, fans were eager to know who he'd face next. Initially, Virgil Ortiz called out Ennis following his first-round knockout win over Lima, setting up what looked like an exciting clash. But things took an unexpected turn. Despite denying interest before, Terence "Bud" Crawford has now stepped up, declaring his readiness to face Boots Ennis, instantly shifting the boxing world's focus toward this potential showdown between two elite fighters.
Boots is from Philly. Terence Crawford is a specialist. Boots is a specialist. Gonna be a great fight. Terence is my guy, man. I love it.
Before getting into Joe Rogan's reaction to this mega fight, let's first look at what other top names had to say. Charlo, who had been eyeing a fight with Terence Crawford after settling his business with Canelo, reacted angrily to the news of Crawford potentially facing Jaron Ennis. Charlo insisted that he, not Boots, should be the next in line to fight Crawford. He emphasized that, given everything he's accomplished in boxing, he deserves to face elite opponents to further cement his legacy. Charlo made it clear that Crawford should be stepping into the ring with him, not Ennis.
I want smoke with Crawford. I want all the smoke. Give me the best shit. I'm in shape. I train. My lifestyle is on the move. Everything is great. So why don't I want the best, man? What y'all talking about, dog? I don't got time to be playing with none of these people with these promotionals and all of these shits. I'm with the old school boxing. I'm following all of the Muhammad Ali act and all that shit. I mean, man, whatever. Y'all want to change shit?
Andre Rozier, while predicting the outcome of the potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis, confidently picked Crawford as the clear favorite. Praising Crawford as one of the best fighters of this generation, Rozier acknowledged Ennis's exceptional talent but stated he would have little to no chance against Bud. He explained that Crawford's skill set operates on an entirely different level and that Ennis still needs time to reach that kind of mastery. Rozier further emphasized that what Crawford did to Canelo proves exactly who he is when he steps into the ring.
I think it's attention, but Terence is on another level right now. I mean, he's on another level.
When you say another level, do you mean like marketability-wise, name-wise, or you mean talent-wise?
All the above. All the above.
So he's a notch or two above Jaron either.
Exactly. Boots has to get there. He's not there yet. A lot of people don't know who Boots is yet. Believe it or not. So the boxing people might, but to be that stellar star, and that's why I'm upset about how his movement has been going, because he could have been stellar already. He's talented enough to...
However, Tim Bradley, in his assessment of the fight, expressed little interest in seeing it happen. He stated that going up against Crawford is a huge risk, as Bud is a beast who can end a fight with just one powerful punch. While Bradley acknowledged that Boots is a rising star with great potential, he emphasized that Ennis should first face opponents closer to his level before taking on a challenge of this magnitude. Overall, Bradley noted that once Boots gains more experience against elite competition, only then should he step into the ring with a giant like Bud.
That type of fight with Crawford, you know what I'm saying? I would hate for him to get in this fight and look average. Because if you go back and you watch a lot of and he's a spectacular fighter. Boots is a spectacular fighter. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Boots. I think he's next. But he needs to be tested. He needs to be tested with he needs to be tested with a guy like Thurman.
In response to Tim Bradley, Greg Hackett stated that every era in boxing belongs to a fighter who rises as the dominant force. Reflecting on Crawford's career, he pointed out that the past 2 years have defined who Bud truly is, earning him more respect than the rest of his career combined. Hackett suggested that this could mark the beginning of Boots' era, as Ennis has earned the right to prove himself against the very best. He added that it would be unreasonable to think Boots doesn't deserve a shot at Bud.
cause they know he that. But Bud shit just got started. Think about it. How long was the Bud Crawford era if Bud Crawford didn't start getting respect till 2023 for what he do? So if it's 2025 and we already talking about Boots Ennis, who's 10 years younger, who could possibly turn up this next 10 and make it crazy, that means the average person who don't really understand boxing, never really watch boxing, pay attention to boxing, and not really a boxing fan, they're not going to remember. But
another key figure, Danny Garcia, welcomed the idea of the fight with a big smile, showing genuine excitement about the matchup. He said this fight would pit a young, hungry lion against an experienced legend, the perfect balance of youth and experience. Garcia noted that both fighters are great in their own unique ways and that the outcome will determine who truly stands above the rest. To ensure fairness, he also suggested finding the right weight class suitable for both men. Overall, Garcia fully supported the matchup, calling it a necessary fight for the growth of boxing.
Great fight. You know, the young hungry lion versus the legend. That would be a hell of a fight. Maybe 160. If it's a vacant title at 160, I think that they can make that happen for sure. I think it just has to make sense for both parties. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think if there's a vacant belt, Crawford's gonna want to be 6th division champion, and then he'll make Ennis move up to 160. I think they could do it at 160.
Most importantly, Terence Crawford, while discussing his upcoming clash with Boots, stated that although fans expect their similar styles to bring something fresh to the ring, he's confident in his own versatility. He explained that he's highly skilled and comfortable in both stances, switching depending on the opponent in front of him. Crawford added that when he steps into the ring against Boots, he'll carefully select and use the stance that gives him the greatest advantage, allowing him to control the pace and outcome of the fight.
Equally as great in both stands. I'm very powerful in both stands. I hit just as hard with my left, probably even harder with my left than my right, you know, but I think it's the opponent.
Moving forward, Eddie Hearn also labeled this potential fight as a great matchup. He described it as a fantastic clash between two elite fighters, with Boots Ennis coming off an impressive victory and Terence Crawford looking for a worthy opponent after the biggest win of his career. Hearn suggested that the bout could take place at a weight class Crawford is comfortable competing in to help make discussions easier. He also praised both fighters' explosive styles, emphasizing that their matchup would deliver an unforgettable fight night experience for boxing fans.
I feel that Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that could be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, you know, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, you know, that he's still very much in his...
Furthermore, Hearn and Ziddle expressed his strong desire to see this fight happen. He noted that although both camps had previously tried to make it work, now is the perfect time for it to take place. Ziddle explained that since both fighters are coming off major victories, the matchup becomes even more exciting and intriguing for fans. He added that watching these two share the ring would be a real treat for boxing enthusiasts, and went on to say that Boots has a solid chance of defeating Terence when they finally meet in the ring.
For Ennis' chances of ever landing that fight with Crawford nearing 40, and Ennis still having a lot of catching up to do to make that a worthy assignment for Crawford. And nobody's been begging for that fight for the last couple years more than me, but I'm also really...
Moreover, Meek Mill was among those who backed the Philly Monster to defeat Crawford. While breaking down the matchup, he pointed out that many fans might be counting Boots out because of Crawford's sensational win over Canelo. However, Meek emphasized that there's a major difference between Ennis and Canelo. He explained that Canelo, now aging, couldn't keep up with Crawford's speed and precision, whereas Boots is younger, sharper, and determined not to let Crawford repeat the same dominance when they meet in the ring.
Boots the next legend to come up in it. How does Crawford and Boots play out, Meek? Crawford and Boots play out? I'm rocking with Boots, of course. I'm from Philly. Crawford, you already know you about to meet this Philly shit. It's all love, but you about to see what this Philly shit about. We real monsters. Let's get it.
Alongside Meek Mill, Brady also confidently predicted a win for Boots Ennis. He stated that Boots hasn't yet received enough major opportunities to fully display his skills and potential in the ring. According to Brady, Ennis is a highly talented and determined fighter with everything it takes to beat Bud. He added that he doesn't care what others think or say about Boots, his belief in the fighter's ability remains strong. Brady further explained that this matchup will draw massive international attention, attracting fans from all over the world eager to witness such an exciting showdown.
Boots. So I want to see him fight Jaron Ennis, and hopefully, he don't retire before then, or he say he too washed up and old. Hopefully he get my boy a shot. That's the only person I can see beat him. That's what I think.
Additionally, when Gilly the Kid heard about this potential fight, he reacted with great enthusiasm. He said that a showdown between Terence Crawford and Jaron Ennis would be both intense and thrilling to watch. Gilly acknowledged that it would be a fascinating matchup, but ultimately predicted that Crawford would come out on top. He noted that while Boots, coming off a dominant victory, would give Crawford a tough challenge, Bud's superior ring control, skill, and experience would allow him to take charge and secure the win in the end.
I mean, I see it as a great fight.
It's a great fight.
I don't know if it'll be 50-50, 60-40, what it would be, but I see it as a great fight.
Moreover, Mayo, while predicting how the fight would unfold, also picked Terence Crawford as the one who would have his hand raised on fight night. He pointed out that Crawford had already beaten opponents with clear size advantages, making it difficult to imagine anyone defeating him now that he holds that advantage himself. Mayo confidently asserted that Crawford would give Jaron Ennis a brutal beating in the ring and added that everyone hyping up this matchup would finally get their answers once the fight takes place.
Crawford versus Boots.
I went to the Crawford fight
I was there
in Vegas. I'm not going to hold you. He really, really surprised me. I'm talking about in a good way, like it was next level, because everybody was talking about how homie was gonna be too big for him, too powerful, Canelo, how he was gonna be too overpower him, and it was none of that. Actually, he wasn't even that. He ain't even really that bigger than him.
He didn't break a sweat, right?
That was light work. He took him all the way out of his fight. Very impressive.
Further exploring this potential clash, let's take a look at how both fighters have performed in their recent bouts. Jaron Ennis's most recent fight against Wisma Lima was a dominant showcase of his explosive power, speed, and determination to reach the top. From the opening bell, he took complete control of the ring, outclassing Lima with sharp angles, quick movement, and relentless aggression. Ennis systematically broke his opponent down before sealing a decisive victory, displaying composure and precision beyond his years. The win not only reinforced Boots' status as a future superstar but also gave him valuable experience handling pressure on a big stage. The confidence gained from such a commanding performance will serve him well as he prepares to face Bud, a fighter known for his elite skill and ring intelligence, making this upcoming bout both a defining test and a golden opportunity for greatness.
Ennis is he's the real package. He's the full package. I've been saying this for a long time. It's no secret, and a lot of people see it, and they had their ups and downs about how they feel about him. But he's the full package. He can fight inside, outside. He can punch. He's got good hand speed. He's technically solid. His father does a good job. He's mentally right. He's got the amateur pedigree. He's the full package. But
following Jaron Ennis's dominant victory, Claressa Shields, the multi-division world champion and one of the most accomplished female boxers of her era, was equally thrilled. She said the outcome was exactly what she expected, even though many anticipated a longer fight. Shields expressed her respect for Ennis and acknowledged his impressive skill set inside the ring. She added that greatness is defined by action, not just talent, and that Boots is clearly on the right path. Speaking about his future, Shields confidently stated that Ennis could beat anyone who dares to step up against him next.
I'm down. Shit. Yeah, Boots that guy. He did his thing. Hey, I like Boots as a fighter. And I want to see him fight the best and prove his greatness. That's what it's about. It's about proving your greatness. So, great job for him tonight. I ain't no Boots hater. I know y'all be like, oh, I love Terence Crawford. I do. That's my number one fighter. But I still got a lot of respect for Boots.
Furthermore, respected American boxer and promoter Thomas LaManna also shared his thoughts on Jaron Ennis's impressive performance, praising the rising star for his power, composure, and efficiency. LaManna stated that Ennis's showing made it clear to the junior middleweight division that he's ready to face the best fighters in the world. He highlighted how Boots' ability to control the pace and finish the fight early showcased his exceptional potential while further sharpening his skills. LaManna added that performances like this prove why Ennis is one of the most exciting and dangerous talents in the sport today.
And it's dope. I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him, man. You're a guy that moved up in weight, what, 2-3 times? Yeah, I mean, I went up, went down, up. Yeah, I mean, I fought 4 or 5 different divisions, man. So what are some of the challenges with moving up in weight? Man, just getting used to your opponent's size, bro. The homo, like, he was moving up, but Boots always been like a big dude. You know what I mean? Like, he's always been strong. That's why him making 147 was like, yo, that's crazy. He's gonna be a monster at 54, a monster at 160, and he can fight at 168. He's gonna be a monster there.
On the other hand, Terence Crawford's last fight against Canelo was one of the most talked about events in recent boxing history. Facing a naturally bigger and stronger opponent, Crawford delivered a tactical masterclass that showcased his skill, ring IQ, and adaptability. From the opening bell, he neutralized Canelo's power with sharp timing, smooth footwork, and precise counterpunching. Crawford effortlessly controlled the distance and switched stances throughout the fight, allowing him to dominate every round. The victory not only cemented his legacy but also prepared him physically and mentally for future challenges. Battling Canelo's strength and pressure sharpened Bud's defensive awareness and boosted his confidence, traits that will be vital as he steps in against a younger, faster, and hungrier challenger like Boots Ennis.
So emotional afterward. Is it that you just realized everything that you achieved, the moment just hit you then?
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's just, the history, behind the sport is just everything that, I trained for my whole life. It all was, coming out that one night. That was all paying off.
Considering everything, Bud and Boots represent two distinct eras of boxing greatness colliding at the perfect moment. As a former undisputed multi-division world champion, Bud Crawford has built a reputation for precision, adaptability, and dominance over elite opponents. His remarkable victories against top names like Errol Spence and Canelo have solidified his status as one of the most complete fighters of his generation. In contrast, Boots Ennis embodies the new wave, young, fearless, and explosive. With an undefeated record and impressive wins over strong contenders like Villa and Lima, he's rapidly becoming one of boxing's brightest stars. The upcoming clash between Bud's experience and Boots's youthful aggression is shaping up to define the next chapter of boxing history. Even though Boots was previously expected to face Virgil Ortiz, his decision to potentially step up against Crawford has thrilled fans and analysts alike. Many believe this matchup is far more intriguing than any other currently on the table. Boxing experts and passionate fans have already begun making predictions. Bud's supporters argue that if Canelo couldn't stop him, Boots will face an even tougher task. Meanwhile, Boots's backers believe his youth, speed, and hunger give him a real shot at dethroning the veteran champion. So, fight fans, how do you see this one going? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this matchup? And who do you think takes the win if it happens? Will Bud's skill and experience prevail, or will Boots's youth and power rule the night? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support keeps us bringing more exciting boxing content. Stay tuned for future updates.